Good evening and welcome to the 1B to the Tulalip Heritage football field here. I am just alone right now. Diamante is actually battling traffic as we are entering this game as the cheerleaders are opening up the field, holding up the signs for Laconner Braves as they are traveling not too far to Tulalip to take on the Tulalip Heritage Hawks. Actually, so far, this will be the first game of the season for the Heritage Hawks here in Tulalip. So, as we are getting back on air, we'll be back shortly here as they do the Pledge of Allegiance and pregame and coin toss. So stay with us. We are here right now doing the coin toss here on top of the Tulalip Whale here in Tulalip. We have the Laconner Braves coming to play Tulalip Heritage Hawks. Right now we are actually commencing. Right now is actually better on time than ever. Diamante joining us here in the booth. I heard he was shaking hands with everybody, just getting ready for the first game of the season. How's it feel to be here?
It feels good, man. I was making the rounds, just hyped up, letting all the fans know that the Hawks are going to open up with a great season opener.
It's good to have you here as we are here tonight. Here as the refs are gathering here in the middle of the field. It looks like we will be starting kickoff here very soon.
How we feeling? First game, Dom?
Actually, I got the jitters. This is the first time I've ever wore a suit and tie to a Heritage Hawks game, so I'm feeling it here tonight, as well as the Tulalip Heritage cheerleaders here tonight. They are feeling it, ready to bring the energy for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks tonight in the greatest setting in the 1B.
Definitely. It's my first time in the booth, but as we like to say on the field, this is probably one of the best high school venues out there. So beautiful evening for some football. Great season to, proceed.
You got the winds coming at you. You got the beautiful sunsets. You know, you got Jared's Corner over there. You got some concessions over the top. You got parking attendants, camera crews, elders, babies, middle-aged, everybody here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and fans definitely, showed up in droves tonight. It looks like see a lot of fans trickling in, and definitely away supporters here. This is another matchup with LaConner. We had one last year, and so it's good to see a neighboring community come out and support their school as well.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is LaConner new to this division? Because I knew when I was playing, LaConner wasn't in the division when we would never play these guys.
As far as I knew, they were not in the division last year, so it's more of maybe like a out of conference game, but it is possible for it to still count as a conference win or loss. We'll find out more. I'll have to ask the coaches.
Yeah, that definitely. So it looks like here Tulalip will kick it off here to LaConner as they are set to receive number 22 of LaConner. Looks like he will.
We get a touchback out of the end zone.
Looks like he ran out of bounds at the 5 there, so it looks like they will take it at the 5.
What a squib kick.
Yeah, good kick there by Tulalip here as now LaConner starts out their starting lineup here with their 8 coming out to the field as their kickoff team will go to the sideline as they were trying to get this offense going from pretty far back in their own end zone.
Yeah, a promising start for Heritage. Defense gets to get out there, pin their heels and pin their ears back, get going, get after the quarterback. Maybe they cause a safety, first play.
You never know. We bring the energy here. First home game of the season. It looks like also Tulalip rocking some new uniforms and new stripes, new helmets, and then the numbers on the helmets. So definitely some new stuff going for them.
They have a 4-man front. Oh, we get a neutral zone infraction. So they get, relieve some of that pressure, maybe a 5-yard penalty.
It looks like it will be a...
For all you fans watching, our production crew wanted you to know that it does reflect second quarter, but right now it's the first quarter. That may not change, and we'll provide live update as we get, changing of the quarters.
So people, it is not the second quarter, it's the first quarter, and it's the second snap of the game. LaConner looks to snap it, looks to hand it right off to the middle there. Heritage doing a good time of sniffing that out.
Yeah, good tough stop there by returner Peyton Hatch. And a gang tackle afterwards, and so not a lot of gain there for LaConner.
Peyton Hatch here, yeah, returner. Here's a drone shot here for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks and LaConner, as you can see us from the sky view here tonight, as LaConner looks to go for their second down.
Yeah, beautiful add to the production.
Adding more things here, more and more. LaConner looking to break some tackles. Brought down here by Tulalip number 9. Jaden Zacchius is on the tackle there for a big third down here for Tulalip. You can see on the replay here, LaConner bows right out to the left side. Jaden there right on the finishing the play.
Yeah, number 9, Yandel Rosales Rojas right there with a hard run. Gain some yardage for LaConner and still trying to trudge forward and get away from that goal line.
LaConner here, big third down for them as they are trying to convert here to get the first down here early in the first quarter.
See some of our home fans, away fans right there in the mix.
Lots of fans here tonight. LaConner goes to the left again. Looks like that's their strong side tonight. Not a fumble. Ball will be blown down.
Looked like it. He hit the ground and contact caused the ball to come loose. Hawks, looking like they got some good speed and getting off the ball well, and so they get a stop there.
First 3 and out of the season, starting off good defense for them so far, but it looks like LaConner will not elect to punt it as they will go for it here.
Yeah, I'd say, each team in the 1B early on in the season, you haven't maybe worked out your special teams so well, so they're going to go for it and see what they can make happen.
Looks like a fake rollout here. Let's go number 32. Looks like he will be brought down by number 55 and company. Derek Rabang looks to be the main tackler there for Tulalip Heritage.
Yeah, and that was a 4th and short as well, so they're able to gain the first down.
Be first down LaConner Braves here with 9 minutes and 43 seconds in the first quarter. Remember the first quarter here on the bottom of your screen for tonight's game. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining as LaConner with an early first down as the Hawks tried to get an early 3 and out, but And the 1B teams tend to go for it a little bit more than you would think in 11-man standard, but easy conversion for LeConner on 4th and short.
Yeah, LeConner looking to get their groove on the run, and they mix it in with obviously a nice little pass right back over the middle, just to, like I said, relieve some of that pressure. Hawks rallying to the ball, not giving up big gains. And so, I still look for them to possibly get another stop here, maybe get a 3 and out, get the ball back.
Yeah, they definitely get the offense going here early. Like we are seeing from the bird's eye view here tonight with 8 minutes, 48 seconds, LeConner goes for 2nd down. Looks to be
reverse.
Kind of a reverse trickery here.
Yeah, they sniffed it out. Peyton Hatch right there, he did his assignment, never got blocked inside, gets off the block and sniffs the reverse out.
Looks like that will be 2 tackles for Peyton just right off the bat for Tulalip. Huge tackles for him early on.
Yeah, great job there. As the Hawks defense looking a lot different. I'm looking at the roster, a lot different bodies out there, and so just definitely everybody probably curious to see what this team will be this year.
This will be an exciting year for Tulalip as they have, I've heard, one of the most talented and most actually amount of players on the roster this year. LeConner goes up the middle.
Yeah, I'd say we have a lot of underclassmen coming back from obviously a pretty good season last year. A lot of guys that could have played a lot of minutes last year, looking to make a bigger impact, and then also just some newer students who have that football pedigree under their belt.
Colt Taylor on the last tackle there, as there will be a timeout by LeConner. Here are your rosters for the team of the Tulalip Heritage Hawks. Coached by Sean Custis, and assistant coaches Galen Gray, Timothy Green, Drew Hatch, Matthew Moses, Stacy Robinson, and Quinton Jan Wagner and Joe Zacchius, along with your Tulalip Heritage Hawks roster.
Yeah, so as folks can see, there's a quite filled roster, a lot of new names, a lot of returners though, and so definitely going to be a promising season, I think, again for Tulalip Heritage. As the community just really rallying around football.
It's hard not to rally with the amount of kids they have this year. The cheerleaders are here too. A lot of parents here cheering for both sides. They have kids on the cheerleading squad or kids on the football team, or even people volunteering here at the concessions, people holding chains. Lots of community here tonight for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think all things moving forward for all athletics for Heritage, and so yeah, like I said, just going to be a great season.
LeConner here pitches at the number 9, goes back to their quarterback, number 5. Keaton Bailey looked a little confused there. Who's their QB? He's a sophomore for LeConner Braves. You can see here, looks like to pitch it to number 9.
Yeah, we see a bat down there by number 5.
Keaton Bailey. Another drone shot for you guys here tonight as we are in the greatest setting in the 1B.
Yeah, we get a bat down there by Amari Hatch on the backside, number 5 as well, on defense.
It makes it easy to remember that one. Looks like Takala will be subbed in for Tulalip Heritage, as he will look to be in.
Get your iris up if you can at some point when that camera's getting
low. Oh, and then we see James Jones Jr. with a nice first initial run, running hard, gets it out of the shotgun, cuts it upfield, trying to fight through some contact, running strong there. So good sign for Junior. He could be definitely a promising running back this year. Great athlete, So I'm excited to see what he'll do this season.
JJ here looks to hand it off to number 4. Tulalip trying to get into the goal line here early. Number 4, James Jones. To clarify for the viewers, is this the same James Jones that goes as James Jones Jr., or is this a different James Jones?
This is James Jones Jr.
Okay, I just wanted to
call him Junior.
Okay.
Most in the community know him as Junior, or his teammates would call him Junior. So he's running back at number 4. He played some running back last year and D-end, and so returning in that backfield definitely could have, got a lot of carries last year. But, obviously as we see 53 there.
Colt Taylor into the end zone for the first touchdown for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks. Number 53, Colt Taylor, who is a sophomore for Tulalip Heritage. Gets the first touchdown of the 2025 season here. Just goes to the right side. Just cuts right by 2 LaConner defenders.
Yeah, didn't have to put any moves on, just too fast. Getting around that corner, avoiding those 2 defenders, gets into the end zone easy.
6 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here as the Tulalip Heritage Hawks looks to elect to go for 2. J.J. Gray in the shotgun position, looks to hand it off, and looks to be stuffed early. Number 74, Chase James, is a senior for LaConner, just made his presence known down in the D-line.
Yeah, and I wonder if number 53 maybe is some a little bit of jersey difference. That looks like Xerxes Miles Guilford. So, returner as well.
Definitely, yes, may have messed that one up here, but to my knowledge, actually, it did not look like it's going to be a touchdown. I thought for sure he ran in there.
Oh, okay, so maybe a step out.
Must have stepped out right at the first there. J.J. Gray pitches, goes to the left, looks to bounce out to the left side.
Yeah,
good
gets around the edge. And he's in the end zone, definitely shrugs off the defender.
J.J. Gray gets the first touchdown of the year, as I thought it a couple plays ago was the first touchdown, but J.J. Gray gets it in here. As you can see, goes to the right, fakes to the right, cuts out to the left, just outruns the defender, number 7 there on LaConner.
Yeah,
Easy
the Hawks,
touchdown.
they had to double down. The first time wasn't good enough, so hey, we'll get back in there again just to show you.
Looks like they wanted to score a couple there today, just to rile me up for the first game of the season here.
More reps in, right, Dom?
More reps. You do something enough, you're gonna get it down here. As the Tulalip Heritage Hawks have 6 on the board, looks to go for 2 here.
Yeah, looking to just increase that lead, adding that first score of the season.
Looks like JJ pitches it to Amari. Looks to slow down to get a truck there. Stopped. Looks like the ball will be down. The Hawks will not convert the 2 and will have 6 points. That will be Heritage 6, LaConner 0 with 5 minutes 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, Hawks on the season for their first score.
Roster away.
LaConner Braves also have a big roster here coming all the way to Tulalip. Pretty long commute, but here is their roster for tonight. Their head coach is Kirk Melton, assistants Ernesto Almaraz, Mike Hearn, and Gina Seberg, and Eduardo Almaraz, Superintendent David Cram for LaConner Braves. Always like to support the away teams, them coming all the way to Tulalip and playing at this beautiful setting.
Yeah, and I love that, again, it looks like it's another tribal school, and so, just that representation, they are representing for their community, their fans showing up, just supporting the kids, each respective community just really trying to rally around their programs.
LaConner actually got here pretty early. They were putting the blankets down on the bleachers, saving the spots pretty early. I saw some Tulalips, they had their tent and their blankets, but it was already like 4 hours before kickoff, and there was already getting some stare downs, friendly stare downs, of course. But blankets were saving spots.
Out 4 hours early. Man, that's something.
Looks like LaConner with another good squib kick by Tulalip.
Yeah, this time returner doesn't put his hands on it, so it'll look like it'll be a penalty. They might get a little bit more yardage out of it.
I think that was the smart thing for LaConner there, to let it go out of bounds. Don't try to be a hero, make the play. You don't want to start back in your own end zone and start from a bad point for your offense. This is early in the season. You got to eliminate those kind of, mental errors if you can.
Yeah, LaConner wanting to establish the run, but, you get it in your own backed up by your own end zone, and say you turn the ball over, you give Hawks good field advantage again. So definitely this playing into their advantage a little bit, maybe trying to even things out. Yes.
That's wrong.
So number 9, running it, yep.
Looks like it'll be swallowed up there pretty quick by Tulalip on that play. It will be second down with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, they get a dive right there. They're really, like I said, they're going to number 9, Yandel Rosales Rojas, and so we'll look to see plenty of him tonight, as, he's already got a handful of carries for the LaConner Braves.
Try to get the offense going here against Tulalip as their defense is looking pretty stout this year here on the defensive side, holding LeConner to just 0 points early. This is only LeConner's second time with possession, so we'll see what they do with the ball here on this second down.
Yeah, and I'd like to think, for Heritage program, there's a lot of great athletes. And so how that translates to football is that if you can make teams one-dimensional and rally to the ball early and get tackles, it can really make things easy for you on the defensive side. And then obviously on offense, you can kind of use that speed to spread teams out and put some points up on the board. So hopefully we'll see a lot more of that this year. They don't look as stout on the line, but, it's 8-man football. So if you've got great athletes, great speed, that can translate to a lot of good things for your team.
James Jones with the back-to-back tackles, actually. 2 tackles here in this possession alone.
Yeah, promising season for the senior. During the off season, before we had a little bit of change, I was saying that he's more than capable of, being, if you will, a all-area player. He could definitely rush for a lot of yards. And on the defensive end, he was always chasing after the ball, rallying to the ball, putting pressure on the QB, and could hold his own in the run defense.
Duran Clark was the one tackled on that last play. Looks like a little bit more trickery here on LeConner as they try to get the first down. Will be short as Tulalip now will take
Gets
over.
It right back. So there you see it. See, they get it on the other team's side of the 50. A little bit over 40 yards out, but not a problem as they got two big runs the last drive, and so we'll see if that carries over to some more momentum on offense.
Looks like it will be on the 42-yard line here for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks. Great starting position for them as they have an early lead of just 6 points, looking to add more to their scoreboard here with 3 minutes 23 seconds remaining.
We get an early.
Looks like we'll have a flag here.
Stop.
Referee signaling.
Oh, timeout. Yeah, I didn't see any flags, so I was wondering. Sometimes they stop you if you go too early, but we get a timeout. And yeah, they'll take time. And then here we see our TOCLA and PYD training. So Tulalip Office of Civil and Legal Aid partnering with Positive Youth Development. We're doing a due process and procedural safeguards seminar for parents, kids, families, just to come out, have dinner, and get some more information for how they can advocate and get support from TOCLA. And so if you're not doing anything this Tuesday, come on out and have some dinner with us and learn how to just advocate for your student and get some support.
So if they're looking to get a hold of someone, you're the guy that they get a hold of.
Yes, I'm actually the contact. That's a series that we've partnered with TOCLA for, as we're just trying to push that resource, their office, out to the community, really with some of the things going on in the school systems, and just really just to show families that they are supported.
Here JJ, here shotgun, looks to make a play, bounces to the left side, gets a stiff arm, goes out of bounds, about a 6-yard, maybe 5-yard gain there on the run to the left side there. Looks like a broken play, but JJ did a great job of making the best of that opportunity.
Yeah, he always does a great job. Maybe there's a missed block. He able to make that first guy miss, and then he can scat out of the backfield and, get some yardage when he really could have been caught in the backfield.
It will be second down for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks here, as they look to try to convert here early, as they got a good takeaway or turnover on possessions, basically.
Yeah, turnover on downs, and they get it, and then we see, I believe Xerxes out there really running hard and gets look like almost a 15-yard run, but we see a flag thrown, so wondering what the penalty will be.
Seeing yellow laundry on the field here. This will be the first flag of the night. Looks like holding on the offense that will push Tulalip 10 yards back.
Yeah, that's interesting. In the scrum, obviously he's, making guys miss, and then they catch a holding somewhere down there. And so, yeah, to push him back, second down.
Second down and long for Tulalip. Looks like they will probably elect to go for a long pass here, or maybe Tulalip looks like they've been doing a little bit of draws here early in the game. Maybe they'll run a draw here to try to get some easier third and manageable.
Yeah, they've been getting, over 5 yards of carry, so I don't see them stopping the run until LaConnor can stop it.
Yeah, JJ goes to the right side. Looks like he almost kind of stopped on his foot. Cuts to the middle of the field. JJ Gray goes to the end zone.
In the end zone for another touchdown. That's 2 on the night for JJ Gray.
To the end zone, no flags. Tulalip makes it 12-0 with 2 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here in the first. You can see here, here's the play.
Highlight of the play here, he gets in a scrum with about 3 defenders and makes them all miss. Cut back, you think he's caught. You see guys piling up at the bottom of the screen, and he's out of there like Houdini.
Great play by Cadence Williams and Xerxes. How do I say this correctly? Xerxes there on the block.
Guilford.
Always making plays outside of the ball, too. That's something I'm seeing here early with Tulalip. If you're able to get a block.
Oh, he's a great teammate. He's a great teammate.
Great block there to set up that play.
Never a selfish guy, looking to, do what his job and assignment is and really help his team. Obviously, if you've watched him play basketball, he plays basketball the same way. And so love that about his game. And then on the football field, he's not shy to mix it up and block when someone else is carrying the ball.
That will be 12-0. Tulalip leads this by 12 points here with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go.
And I'll give him a little plug. He's called Xerxes, but Mama calls him Ziggy. So for those who want to know, or if you hear us say Ziggy, that's him out there.
I think that's what I was saying last year. Ziggy Miles Guilford all the time. Whether on the football field, on the basketball court, always a great time to see all these players come out here. And we all have that name that our mom or dad plays, says it to us. Just like we could see here, Tulalip Heritage Hawks wearing their respective numbers and positions for the roster tonight.
Yeah, and roster. So, like I said, you'll see some of your favorite players on that roster. I mean, we'll refer to them tonight when they, make a great play, or maybe we, tell a little story about them. As I see the first player on there, Dom's relative, Tikala Black Tomahawk.
Yes, senior year for him tonight. And there is some numbers on the field tonight and on our rosters that may be a little bit wrong. So if we mispronounce your name or misdo your number.
Oh, miss there on the edge by Junior.
LaConnor goes up to the left sideline. Ziggy there on the play.
Yeah, great cutoff. Doesn't rush. Make sure he takes the right angle, gets a tackle, and everybody rallies to the ball. So stops a potential return there. That was dangerous.
Big open field tackle here. That's what you get taught in practice. You break down. If they're going to choose a side, that's the side you're going to. You're the more of the coach than me here. But if I can remember from my days, that's what it was that we were told.
Yeah, you don't bite on the steps. You just take your time, close the space. That way, if a move is made, the closer you are, it's still easier to get to him. And so obviously Ziggy just takes his time. Doesn't rush to get to him, take a bad angle. Able to make a tackle. Obviously, they get a great return, but still, bend but don't break, and they don't give up a touchdown.
Some much-needed relief there for the LaConnor Braves as they will start off about on the 50-yard line here early.
Oh, and a nice, quick dive play again there, and they mix it up. So number 32, that is Benny Allen. So obviously a great return there by Yandel Rosales Rojas, and they give him a breather. He breaks off a big return, and they give a carry to number 32. Benny Allen.
Davis Badchan doing a great job of getting low, grabbing the knees, getting a great tackle for him tonight. Here, I believe that is his first of the night. Who is another senior for Tulalip Heritage who transferred last year for Marysville Pilchuck. Great player for them in basketball and also in football this year.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, guys just playing multiple sports. Like I said, a lot of great athletes everywhere, man. And so it's just exciting to see them out here on the field.
LaConnor looks
neutral zone infraction. They bait him.
Looks like that will be 3 Hawks players jumping on that flag.
And really, for me, obviously, if the coaches get a chance to get him to the sideline, it's like, hey, that's the only thing really keeping their drives alive as the Hawks have been able to stop runs. So, you just watch the ball. You don't got to worry too much about getting off the ball because they're not really getting off their blocks and breaking big runs.
For years, always a very underrated part of the game is special teams and also just making sure you don't make simple mistakes, on the defensive side. Don't give them easy yards.
And not to interject, sorry, Don, but as we're watching the play, and that's a tough thing for LaConnor. We watched the run there, and the running back doesn't get off his position in the backfield, and so by the time he gets the ball, there's already pressure. It doesn't matter if the Hawks have got any penetration because he's already fighting to get through a gap that's closing up.
Yeah, figuring out the gaps is already hard enough as a D lineman. When they open up, is this a trap? Is this a counter? Which is the right play to move here?
Oh, and then we get an end-around run for number 9 again, Yandel Rosales-Rojas. Man, he's a tough runner for LaConna Braves.
Brought down by number 7, Joshua Davis, who is a freshman for Tulalip this year.
Yep, product of that TMYFL feeder program here for the community. And so we'll see how he does. Also looking to play some DB, and I think he's backup QB too. So maybe if Hawks spread that margin wide enough, he might get some snaps at QB.
The depth of Tulalip this year so far is has great depth, I should say.
Very apparent.
Very apparent this year. Looks like number 3 will take the ball for LaConna.
Another end around, and
Kaysen Williams.
Tough run there. That's looks like their bread and butter play. Left and right, that end around. You get some backs blocking upfield, and you give some time for your linemen to get off their blocks, and then maybe they get 4 or 5 yards off the carry.
For those of you who were just now joining us, we are going into the second quarter. There's 4 seconds left in the first quarter as we are levitating through the air through this game as Heritage is up 12. LaConna 0.
What a great perspective there by the production. Added that feature this year, I think, right?
Yes.
I was on the field last year, but that's the first time I'm seeing that, and it's awesome, especially like I said with this beautiful venue, man. One of the best places in the world, whether it's just tribal campus, but a high school campus. It's a great venue. If you're just tuning in right now, and if you got time, you might want to be here in person.
Yeah, if you like us live online, watching the stream, you'll like it better here too. There's a cool breeze coming in. I might be sweating a little bit in this first part of the season because I'm nervous. This is just part of the game. I think that gets me in the element here. Tulalip here up early, 12, LaConna 0. We are going into the second corner. Head coach for LaConna, Kirk Melton, trying to gather his guys to get on the board here for the second quarter.
Yeah, and they're driving, so the door's still open for them to kind of still keep this game going. Obviously, they gave us a challenge last year, played a great game. And Hawks, really rolling, but, still haven't really stamped it. And so, obviously on their side, they're looking to, stop whatever momentum is being gained here by LaConna so that they could get the ball and hopefully just, really slam that door shut.
We'll be switching sides here like we always do in every game. Here for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks as they will be playing defense on the other side of the field, and as opposed for LaConna will also be on the other side. Here with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter, we are moments away from starting here in the second.
Yep, that's one of those things, you tell your guys as you're breaking the court, you say, hey, let's walk and talk, walk with me. You have them, just going the other way, and obviously if you got to make some adjustments, you gather right there on the sideline. The refs love to kind of warn you, you can't come on the field or you can't go past the numbers, coach. And then, you give them your best strategy and you send them back out. So, look, hopefully you get stopped here. Look, it was QB, almost looked like it was about to be a QB sneak.
Looks like it may be a false start here for LaConna. Officials trying to get things straight. Looks like it will actually be against Tulalip. May have been some pushing and shoving.
Maybe a neutral zone infraction because
Yeah.
it was a premature. It broke the play, so I don't think anything that had to do with the play. Looked like a neutral zone infraction. Maybe they lined up in the neutral zone infraction, didn't jump, but late whistle right before the play started.
LaConna now trying to get the first points here in Tulalip for themselves. LaConna looks to hand it off. Stuffed easily there.
Big hit there.
Amari Hatch lays the lumber here.
Yeah, look at him. Glad they laid the boom. You can see that one from up here, Dom.
You can just see here, just shot the gap perfectly.
Perfect. Almost took him off. His ball came out.
Textbook tackle right there for Tulalip. Not a dirty hit at all. Just put his head in the right place. Great tackle for Amari there here in this second quarter.
Pad to pad. Laid them pads on him. Almost like I said, took him off his feet, drove him back. Ball popped out. LaConna luckily retains the possession.
Yeah, they're lucky to still have the ball there. That would have took a lot of momentum out of their possession here.
Another dive play there by the fullback. Oh, taking him off his feet this time. So good gain, but punishing him at the end of the run.
Jaden Zacchius lifting the guy up in the air here. You can see on the replay, gets
Getting
low.
stuff some, 2 on the ball carry at the same time. They might be a little bit thin, but they're mighty.
Davis Batchand
And-
also there on the tackle, just lifting him up together. Not dirty wise, just got him down.
That's a great play. That's,
Yep.
tough tackle. Obviously, as a runner, you got to stay low to try to protect yourself, but also even better defense, guys rallying to the ball. Sometimes, you get 2 on you might want to lay down so you don't take any more damage.
Jaden also a transfer and also relative of mine here playing tonight in Tulalip Heritage. Great to see him in Tulalip colors.
And you know what we like to say last season, as obviously we're just retaining a lot of kids from our community coming back to Heritage. We say, you're Tulalip, come on home. Come on home, let's shine with the program. And so, yeah, it's great to see Hawks looking good and getting some of their tribal kids here to play tonight.
Yeah, just seeing them in the new uniforms. We got fans going crazy tonight. Like I said earlier, people were setting up tents. They got their chairs here early. The spots have been reserved for hours for people who are watching this. So you're watching on the stream, you're comfortable, but these people are just as comfortable here in our own home field.
Definitely. And obviously, I think the bleachers is a nice add to the venue, but, we still see a good portion of families over there in the grass. You can get your chair, see that sunset, comfy chair and just be around your family. So also cool view right there.
Might be a little bit colder out there than it is here in the booth. I'll be honest.
It's we're coming
More iris.
we're coming fresh off summer, so we'll see if it'll get a little bit colder. Oh,
Looks like
fake.
LeConnor will go to the right side. Looks to make a
It's on
tackle.
the
Number
edge.
2 there.
The Hawks with the speed. Able to make 2 defenders miss. Got her on the edge as kind of maybe DN took a bad angle, but Hawks able to rally to the ball. That was a great play there by Davis Bachan.
Keaton Bailey, definitely the leading scorer for LeConnor here tonight as the quarterback, and having that threat option and being able to just also run to the outside is very much a big opportunity for LeConnor in their offense.
Yeah, coach calling a timeout. Maybe he's seeing something, adjustment. We'll see. I think even if he is a great runner, if you can't get the Hawks on their heels, maybe with the threat of a pass, that might not mean something, if they're going to be coming downfield every play.
Looks like Sean Gustus will huddle his team together. Also, remember the National Day of Remembrance Boarding School Awareness Gathering is Tuesday, September 30th at the Tulalip Gathering Hall. Questions, contact Santana Shop Bell Proel 360-716-4288.
Yeah, another definitely a great event for our community just to honor those that have passed on and those who have survived boarding schools, as they create more education and awareness around, what would be a national matter, I would say, or a, international matter. So, great event. Come on out, open to not only our community, but all, just to really, really heal together and create that awareness.
Very much so. It'll be 4th down for LeConnor. Looks to see there's 10 minutes and 49 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Handoff to number 9. Gets tackled early.
Yeah, chopped them down. Gets a couple yards, but they rally quick. As, they are in the goal line, so we'll see.
Looks like that will be a 1st and goal for LeConnor. You can see on the replay, number 9 just does just enough to get in. Yandel Rosales Rojas.
Yeah, another tackle there by Davis Bachan. He's quick to the ball. They got him at kind of that, that middle safety spot, maybe like a rover.
LeConnor Braves here, 1st and goal. Looking to get their first points.
And Heritage in what looks like their goal line package, maybe 5 on the line.
Looks like they'll send 5. That will do the trick as number 90 is
Ball
there.
comes out on the tackle.
Carlos Espinoza.
Oh, maybe on contact. They got a couple breaking a couple yards off, but yeah, Carlos Espinoza there early. One of our, I like to think of him as one of our teen center kids.
Yes, very much so here. LeConnor huddling up here on the 2nd and goal.
Tackle powered by Teen Center snacks and drinks there, right there.
This is the textbook line they always say in football. The game is won at the line of scrimmage here. If they can win this goal line package, they'll be set.
Yeah, and number 9.
Looks like number 9
punches it
will power through the offense and defensive line and will punch it in for LeConnor's first touchdown.
Yeah, Yandel Rosales Rojas with, another carry, running hard, gets through the scrum, and gets his first score of the night as well.
Just one of those plays, he kept his legs running, going through the line there. He didn't stop. He kept his legs moving up and down, left, right. All of a sudden found the end zone.
And we'll see if Hawks can stop this kind of conversion.
Right here, this is where you got to stop them. They've stopped you twice going for 2. This is where Tulalip Heritage Hawks defense can shine here.
So, yeah, a little premature movement. Everybody trying to get off in anticipation of, creating some blocks.
Yeah, this is a big move for Tulalip here. Stop them here on a 2-point conversion. They stopped you twice. You can make a statement here stopping them.
Yeah, I would say, it's still early. In 8-man, it's anybody's game with a 1-score game. So, LaConner Braves fighting early, so they get their first score. Really trying to just stunt any momentum that would have gone to the Hawks had they got another stop.
Great first half so far. LaConner looks to go for 2. Hands it off to number 32. Will be stopped by Ziggy Miles Guilford.
Yeah, great tackle. And that's an interesting play there. I don't know if it's designed that way, but that getting the carry while not in motion hurts him, I would say. He got some great blocks and it was open, but he wasn't able to get enough yards coming through the hole. So they get their first touchdown. We go to 12-6. Heritage up. What are you liking so far, Dom?
So far their offense is shining for Tulalip this year. And also, that defense, they showed some poise going all the way down the field. They had some good key moments. They were tackling, making great open field tackles. I think you just eliminate some of the penalties that they're making early here in the first half. I think it would go a lot better.
I like that analysis. Yeah, definitely. They couple broken plays, but they were right there almost to get another stop. Obviously, LaConner just proved to be very persistent, and so they get a score. But Heritage is going to get the ball back, and LaConner yet to stop anything on the defensive end going against Heritage.
Yeah, for them to have a great offensive poise like that, that's the key right here. It looks like we'll be meeting up here. Is this a sportsmanship meeting up right here? What would you say is going on from your point of view?
Yeah, I think so. I saw a little bit of banter at the end of a play. I'm not sure if that's something that was going on the whole time, but because I didn't really see anything, I just saw maybe a swat of a ball, but the refs pulling them to stop the play, stop whatever's going on, and he's obviously going to give his input on let's have a clean game, let's make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary going on. Other than that, I didn't really feel like there was anything excessive from what we're seeing on the field, but nevertheless they pull them together, and hopefully they won't have to be called to the middle, or sometimes they say, hey, if I see it again, obviously it's going to be a penalty.
LaConner and Tulalip, they have history. It goes back in native tournaments, softball tournaments, lots of things. You bring it out here on the field, tensions, happen. You got freshmen who are out there trying to get on varsity. You got seniors who are, want to get their last couple good runs in, couple good tackles in for the year. So, I don't blame them here. Tulalip Heritage Hawks roster here for you.
Yeah, and I would agree. I mean, it's a matter of pride. Obviously, you want to represent your community. You see, a neighboring school. You see some of the people outside of just football season, and so a little bit of pride on the line. I would still say interesting to pull them together if any unsportsmanlike penalties haven't been thrown.
Yeah.
Usually it's you get the penalties. Then if it's excessive, maybe they pull you, and so we'll see how the rest of tonight proceeds.
So the 1B has a lot of teams, and I've actually had people come up to me and ask, where is this certain team from? I don't know where this team is, Dom. You guys are playing this team. Where are they from? I don't know half the time, so I took the time, looked it up, and we know there's a lot of things that happen here in the 1B. Nia Bay is out all the way. I don't know how many miles is Nia Bay away from here. 300 miles, would you say? 200 miles?
I just know it's over 3 hours to get there.
LaConner, on the one hand, isn't that far, so that's why I was really interested this year. We'll cut to it here soon. But LaConner's actually a 30-minute ride. So you have teams that are that close, you have teams that are that far. And I think the 1B has always amazed me because I remember going on 3-hour ferry rides to Orcas Island.
Yep.
And just a beautiful division.
Yeah, it's very, I would say, diverse in the type of schools that are in the conference. And obviously, just small schools aren't large large in numbers, and so you got to travel sometimes to go play some teams that might not be close by. But still some good football, great athletes, and some schools kind of on the rise. I haven't known LaConner to be a huge football school. But last year, like I said, they gave us a tough game, and then this year, obviously, as we're watching, it's still anybody's game, and so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Looks like it'll be an onside, but Tulalip will recover it. In actually an 8-man 1B football, you don't have to elect to actually go for onside. It's like old school football. In the NFL, you have to say, hey, we're gonna kick it onside. We could sit here and talk about which side you really like, but I like how the 1B still stays still traditional.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard it being any different at the different levels of football, whether it's 1B or 3A, 4A. But you still got to get on the ball within the 10 yards. Some teams, they're really aggressive. They might go after, the nearest person to the ball, which creates some havoc. Obviously, Tulalip able to get on the ball there. Pretty easy recovery for them.
Yes, here in very great field position for them, as this package for them looks.
Yeah, shotgun single back package with kind of a wing back off to the side.
JJ here steps back, looks to go left-handed throw.
And we see Xerxes, creating some separation. Easy pitch and catch there for the go ball.
Just put it in the right pocket there. Xerxes there has his hands. I don't even think he had to move him there.
Caught him in stride.
JJ just puts the ball in the right spot. Offensive line giving him plenty of time here with the left-handed throw. Ball spinning through the air. Xerxes there, touchdown Heritage.
Yeah, and they have, such good chemistry. That's Ziggy's starting point guard, but on the field even better, out there. Ziggy is a great athlete, able to, like I said, easy person to throw to. He's always yards in front of the guy who's supposed to be, with him, the defender that's supposed to be covering him. And so, just a simple one-play drive there.
James Jones Jr. will get the 2-point conversion for Tulalip, and it will be Heritage 20, LaConner 6, with 9 minutes and 21 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Heritage, trying to create some separation. They go up by another score, 2-score game again.
2-score game, anything can happen here in the 1B. You could see it in the college game, you could see it in the NFL game, you could see it in the Canadian Football League game, all those type of things. Game ain't over until it says 0-0-0 here tonight.
Yeah, interesting enough, I know in the past, in some of the games that Heritage has played, scores have been up there in numbers. But, in these dog fights, sometimes because there have been a lot better athletes at the school, no shot to, the likes of, alumni, Dom, I know you're one of them, but they've been able to be a little bit more stout on defense, and cover the field. So we'll see if they give up not too many points tonight.
Hey, not just me. There are a lot more greater alumni, I should say, that I shared the field with. That may actually be taking that one to heart.
Hey, don't come for me.
To give you guys a fun fact here, as Tulalip here kicks it off, looks like there will be a flag on the play. I think we were a little bit offsides there, but a fun fact for you Tulalip Heritage Hawks fans, some pop quiz or whatever you want to call it. My first day in practice, this is actually a real fun story. This is my first time with pads on. This is my first time with a helmet on, and of course I had some cousins on the team, and my younger cousin Sam lined up against me. And he was younger, he was a freshman, and he got the best of me on the first play, and I had to hear about it all year. But I got him back a couple times. But pretty embarrassing moment for me, as the senior walking on, getting laid out by the freshman. But oh man, if you could take it all back, but Heritage up here at 20-6, 9 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. He got me there.
Man, like I said, a little bit of more tenured players coming in. A lot of these kids playing on the field, they've got years of experience of football under their belt, which sometimes in the past wasn't so prevalent. And so like I said, the program building, a lot of good football programming going on here, multiple teams at multiple age groups, and so just really adding to that pool of talent of kids who come to Heritage.
Looks like Xerxes here did an onside kick, and LaConner was just in the right place at the right time. Looks like he didn't even have to move. The onside there may have been in response to what they just did, wanted to get the ball back and score early here in the first half. But LeConnor will take the ball here at pretty good field position.
Yeah, not maybe even a surprise. You're up, opposing team not expecting it, as you rather play it safe. Hey, they tried, weren't successful, but I like the strategy.
Yeah. Keep them on their toes. I think that's a great idea here for Tulalip as LeConnor looks to hand it off here, motioning, kind of a trickiness there, but Tulalip sniffs it out early.
Yeah, a lot of motion, but again, that dive play for LeConnor, when number 32, what is it, Keenan Allen? Let me look it up. 32, Benny Allen. Sorry, Benny Allen. Mistaking him for the pro, but Benny Allen, when he gets it, he's not in motion. I think that's something they got to adjust. They got to get him in stride.
Tulalip here now on defense. Second down.
Yeah, and Heritage sniffs it out, so second and long for LeConnor.
Key player to watch here on the top right of your screen. Or bottom right, goes to number 3, fakes it.
Oh,
Looks
gets
like
around the corner. Oh, but they chop him down there.
Jaden Zacky's there with a great tackle here on the outside. You can see here.
I like the design of that fake. Maybe get the DN biting down on that fake, redirecting him. But he didn't bite on it, but he still got around the corner. But the Hawks, just got that speed.
Yes, very much here. Yeah, if you're able to cut to the outside like that, and you have corners who could tackle like that for Tulalip, it's going to be a great season for them if they can make those open field tackles on the outside.
Yeah, and a 4-4 defense there for Heritage.
Great move there by Keaton Bailey, kind of splitting the defenders here. You can see on the offensive side, kind of just splits between two defenders here. You can see like a hop step almost.
Yeah, great discipline there by Junior. He cuts off that outside angle, and then everybody else kind of ready to rally to the ball. They get a little bit of yards, but it's about, 4th and 6, 4th and 7. So we'll see if Heritage gets another stop.
Fancy move, but wasn't enough for a first down. As like you said, 6 yards to go for LeConnor, trying to convert here late in the second half, or first half.
Maybe, and they look like they try to get him off sides. Nobody jumping. But we might see a timeout here. Nope, they run a play. Oh,
Connor,
go ball.
Play action.
Goes it under.
Looks like
Dumps
that
it over.
will.
Oh, and then we get a fumble. Or maybe ball came out. On hit the ground.
Let's see here on the replay. See if he did convert that. Looks like it will be a first down.
Bodies around him. Oh, yeah, he hit the ground. Ball came out late.
Looks like when he was getting tackled, if he was pulled back maybe a little bit, they would have gave it to him there. But it looks like, I think, just that he fell forward. They teach you to fall forward in that sense. Will be a first down to Connor.
Yeah, Heritage not able to get the stop. They get a sneaky little under route there on a, maybe a tight end flaring out. Oh, and then we get a block there by LeConnor.
Yondale getting a lot of handoffs here for LeConnor. That will be a tackle by Davis Batchand, who is also a senior for Tulalip Heritage. You can see here, just does a good job waiting for the play. Didn't rush too much and get behind the play. You don't make a right angle. I'm sure you lectured the players in the angling, I'm sure, all year.
Yeah, stay on the outside, cut off the outside. Wait for, your inside guys to rally to the ball if you're anybody that's on the near side play, whether it's the DN, the corner, outside linebacker, if you will, just force everything in and close the space. That's what I kind of preach, but, maybe they hear something different.
Davis there gets a sack.
Sniffed it out.
Will be a half sack, I'd say. James Jones and Davis there on the play.
Yeah, and you get 4 guys on the line, maybe a corner on the line too if there's nobody out there at wideout. So you run free with some speed. Gets a sack.
Davis closed in that space pretty fast coming off the edge there for him to come and outrun their quarterback like that. Very athletic play. And also James there as well.
Yeah, great athlete, sniffs it out. And so, LeConnor, 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20, very hard play to convert here as the sun has almost set here as the lights are turning on here as the Bay wind kicks in. LeConnor goes for this 3rd and long.
That was poetic.
Poetic.
Dom.
LaConner goes. Will be no good there. Be 4th and long on this very drawn-out night.
Nice. Man, you're
Rep-
getting deep. You're getting deep, man.
Replay here. Looks like it got tipped there by number 32, Tulalip Heritage, Davion Wells.
Yeah, pressure. He comes off the edge unblocked. Almost looked like they were gonna have some space for that play, but whether he got his hands on it or just a bad ball, broken up play. So we got 4th and 15. I know I said 3rd and 20, but it's 4th and about 15 on this. So we'll see if LaConner. They got to pass to maybe salvage any hope for a drive. And right now we're seeing a lot of bootleg with the go ball. We'll see if we see that here.
Connor goes for it on 4th down. Davis there with another sack.
Oh.
Gets away.
Oh, and
They're calling him down. That will be a sack to Davis Batchand.
I feel like that was an early call. He was free when they. That was tough for LaConner. We see a whistle, unsuccessful on the tackle. I see some. Oh, and then they blow the whistle right there. It almost looked like that's maybe benefit of protecting the player, but maybe would have let it play out. That's a tough one.
Even if Davis doesn't get that sack, I'd like to think that James Jones was going to slow him down there and defense was going to collapse to the play, but you never know.
Rally to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Refs, like you said, are keeping out and watching for the player's safety here tonight. And, it's good to see. It's what you like to see. You want to see these guys go home tonight. You want to see them and be here the next game.
Definitely. And for LaConner, Yandel Rosales Rojas, man, he gets 40 carries tonight. You think he's got to go to first period?
Yeah.
Monday?
Yeah. I think you do. Even loss or win, you have to.
40 carries.
In school, I think they have something. Like, if you don't go to school, they, write you a note nowadays. Or, I forgot what they called it, but it was something.
Man, he's got 15 carries already here, brother, in the first half.
Like load management, in baseball, you're saying.
Yeah. You might want to pace him, right? You got a long season. This first game or second game possibly for LaConner of the
Kirk
season.
Melton for LaConner, pumping up his guys as well as Sean Custis for Tulalip. Gathering up their players, trying to figure something out as we have 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the first half. We are in the second quarter. If you are now just joining us or just joined us momentarily, the second quarter bug on the bottom of your screen is giving us some problems, so just remember that we are in the second quarter. If someone walked out and said, what quarter are they in? We are in the second quarter.
Yeah, second quarter, 4 minutes, 32 seconds left. Heritage getting the possession and really just looking to blow this game wide open with what would be a 20-point lead if they score. So we'll see. They're airing it out, which is a sign of trouble for LaConner, as they haven't been able to stop the run either.
JJ doing a great job dropping in past the pocket, goes to the left side, gets past somebody, 15 to 10, the 5, JJ Gray in the end zone.
One-play drive, man, that's tough. And he scores, yeah, like I said, blowing the game wide open, and that's the beauty of having him as a quarterback. He's a dual threat. He sees the field well, and also at any given moment, he can escape that pocket. And like I said, he's out of there like Houdini.
The offensive line doing a great job of just pushing the defenders outside so he can cut right through the middle. That's something you see on the next level. You see these offensive linemen, they're intentional where they're putting these guys.
Yeah, fan them out.
Yep.
Fan them out.
So where these quarterbacks can make a play.
Yeah, I like that. And obviously, he's able to step up. And then LaConner just not really having the athletic bodies to maybe spy on JJ and stay, containing. Oh, broken play there. Tries to cut it back.
Was a fumble there. Looks like to bounce right at them. Heritage not doing a great job of converting the 2-point conversions tonight, but they're able to get the 6, and that's a little bit more points, I'd say, and I'd be proud to get those in rather than the 2 points. It would be 26, LaConner 6.
Yeah, and that was like I said, one-play drive. So even if they don't convert, man, momentum really rolling. And this is kind of like that. I don't want to say pivotal point, but with the face-off last year with LaConner, this is kind of a similar start. And obviously for them, can they retain that for the rest of the night? Keep that momentum. Get a stop here before half, and then obviously in second half, just keep it rolling. So we'll see.
Yeah, and like I was saying with the 2-point conversions, you look at that, and that could be the difference between a 3-possession and a 4-possession. You look at it right now. I like to say that the Tulalip Heritage Hawks' offense is going to do a great job and keep putting on that pressure for LaConner because they're able to score in such short amount of plays. But come different weeks, it could come down to those 2 points.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of keeping the season alive last year. 2 points down. You're haunting me. You're haunting me with that one. Oh, man. That's a tough one, man.
You're like, yeah, okay, enough about the 2 points now.
But, hey, they're rolling tonight. So, new things, fresh start, and they're rolling.
Great bounce for Tulalip. Looks like
guys are on the ball.
Looks like
Stuff them. Oh, strip.
Fumble.
Ball on the carpet.
Fall on the carpet, dive on the ball. Looks like I'm interested to see what the flag will be here.
You know what I find interesting, Dom, is, players kind of, you get a stalemate and they're both up and it's a potential strip, and I almost feel like I heard the whistle as they were, in contact. So then does the fumble actually happen?
I see what you mean, because it looked like it was whistled there just a couple. I see on that replay.
That's always interesting, man.
Yeah.
It's like, single guy on the ball carrier, like I said, unless he's driving them back, if the guy's still pumping his feet, usually they keep it alive. And so then if a fumble happens, it's anybody's ball, but, they're blowing the whistles early tonight.
Yeah, it almost seems like the only way to get a clear fumble right now, so far this season, just this first game, is you got to either poke it out like with your fist or with your helmet.
Pads on the ball.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to get blown pretty early.
Yeah. So, but we see a penalty, possibly on LaConner, and so they're backed up even further, starting on offense.
LaConner now trying to get something moving. Looks like this is what they like to do, kind of like the fake handoff and then cut in towards the middle.
Yeah, cause some confusion. They constantly got guys in the motion in the backfield while, mixing it up with these dive plays. I think it's just really to, create some split-second confusion and then allow blocks to develop, right? And you kind of got to lean on that when maybe you don't got that offensive prowess on the line, just to really give your team an advantage developing plays. So far, they've been getting some yards, but, Hawks been sniffing it out. Defense been rallying to the ball.
Yeah, they've been very disciplined on trying to find the ball and making sure they find the right person who is getting the ball. Here you can see they do it again. Hawks going all over there.
Yeah, another tough run.
Play swallowed up pretty quick there.
Yeah, kind of another end-around handoff. Right here, pitch, I should say. And then, they get some decent yardage. Just trying to play physical.
With another handoff for LaConner.
Yeah, his, like I said, he's on pace for 40 carries.
That's a lot of carries here. If there was fantasy implications, people would be happy for that.
Yeah, but hey, obviously for him, he's got to love it, right? You get to carry the load on offense. If you're durable, it's a great feature for you. You get some time to shine.
And also, he's a sophomore, so, he has multiple years left here at LaConner or whatever respective school. He's thinking in the future if he decides that route to get more carries. So good on him. And
you see that. And you see that right there. See number 32, Benny Allen. When he gets a dive in motion right there, he's able to, bust off some yards. Obviously, you'd like to have seen their line block a little bit more as they're looking around. They don't know if the play's developed. But he still gets some positive yardage. That's what's helping LaConner. And if you're Heritage, you just got to probably stalemate in the middle, break up the play. And obviously, you want to see your guys rally to the ball early.
Heritage's defensive front, I think, is a big highlight here for them
bootleg.
tonight.
Guys around him. And they chop him down outside.
Jaden Zackus with another tackle. Lots of Hawks there on the play. You can see Davis wrapped around here on the replay. You could see him just coming off the edge.
He was chasing him down.
Jaden doing a great job getting low. Also, JJ there just in case they needed it. But like I was saying, the defensive line here for the Hawks is also creating extra time or less time for the secondary. For them to not even, if they're getting to the ball that quick, I haven't really seen LaConner throw it that much.
Yeah, I don't know if that's maybe just because of the personnel or, maybe not having the package. But it's, like I said, it's kind of making them one-dimensional. And so, they're really, like I said, Hawks pinning their ears back and just rallying to the ball. You see on that last play, there's nothing that's stopping Davis from just really, chin in the air, full speed sprint to the ball.
Definitely so here. Looks like it will be 4th down for LaConner.
So 4th and about 3.
Fourth and manageable for these guys here tonight. If they're able to get the average they've been getting out here running the ball with Yandel, could be an easy conversion. But also, Hawks doing a great job with the blitz package tonight.
He busts out of there.
Looks like LaConnor will bounce out to the left side. It will be brought down by JJ.
Yeah, and initially I was going to say, looked like they got some penetration on the line, but for some odd reason, he wasn't brought down. He's able to, just see a gap, and he slides out, and then a missed tackle. Oh, so a fumble right there. And he had a body on him. And then a missed tackle there by Xerxes, but JJ, you got JJ back there as a safety net. He's able to chase him down and get a tackle.
Yeah, there, like we said, LaConnor is looking for that one person to kind of slip up in that tackle and that kind of handoff. And it looked like the ball was kind of bobbled and kind of almost pushed forward. So with something like that, I don't blame the Hawks for getting kind of caught up in that.
And as you can see right there, they're just really trying to wedge plays, just run behind. Their line's a little bit more stout. But Hawks able to just really use their speed. A missed tackle there, but they stop them right there after about 3-4 yard gain.
Xerxes on the tackle there for Tulalip. 39 seconds remaining as they are in a hurry-up type package.
Yeah, 34 seconds.
And I believe LaConnor is out of timeouts. They have used all 3. So they need to stop the clock or get out of bounds.
Oh, end around.
Looks like they'll have to hurry up here as it will be 3rd down.
Right there, you'd probably want to see the player give the ball to the ref, and so some more time running off.
Becoming a U talent at the half.
And they look like they might get. If it's a run, this is possibly the last play. So look to see a
Could
stop
be a
here
spike.
for Heritage. Okay, yeah.
Got some Madden in my days.
Hey, I haven't seen no passing, so I thought maybe they'd run one near the sideline.
That
Sweep
could have
to
caught
the
him off
sideline.
guard.
Sweep.
Fake spike and throw it up or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a run, fake run.
Yeah,
pitch it.
I was thinking maybe a run to the sideline. We'll see a pass, but it makes it real predictable. So unless some bad defense played.
Yeah, very much so. Here, 4 seconds. What do? Do you just put an extra guy on your line and just lob it up, or do you go for a draw that's what kind of worked on the last play previously?
I think obviously those. I've seen kind of more of a tight run package, and they get one guy out there, so odds not really in their favor. But broken play, they could get some yards.
Looks to bounce out to the left side. Lots of Hawks there.
And they get to the ball.
Will be tackled. It will be Hawks 26, LaConnor 6 for the first half. What a great first half for Tulalip. What do you think so far, Diamante, for the Tulalip Heritage Hawks and LaConnor Braves?
Man, Hawks looking real stout. Great athletes on both sides of the ball, and so that's working in their favor. They're really rallying to the ball on defense. On offense, they haven't been stopped. It's been gone unopposed, really having their way. We see, I think it was 3 drives where they just went out in a single play and scored. So just things rolling really for them. And for LaConnor, obviously they got a couple guys, carrying the load for them, but not able to do enough to really close the gap.
Yeah, you eliminated those big plays on LaConnor's defensive side. You don't allow them to do that. That will be a pretty more manageable game. But we got some highlights here for you guys in the first half.
And we'll be back after the halftime.
We are back here for the second half of this game as Tulalip is up 20 points here, 26-6. What are you excited to see in the second half?
Man, I really like to see Tulalip Heritage Hawks offense rolling. I think if they come out, get a stop, get a score here quickly, it could be a wrap for them. Maybe even 2 scores, but I think if they get another offensive drive where they get it in one play, man, I don't see the momentum stopping. Obviously, on defense, it's been kind of a bend but don't break philosophy. They've got a lot of stops on defense as well. And I know I said get a stop, but I believe they're getting the kick return.
Yeah, it looks like they will receive here in the second half. If I'm a LeConner fan watching this stream, if I'm a LeConner fan here traveling, you want to see them get an early 3 and out.
Absolutely.
Being down like this right now, you get that momentum back, you could steal it. If the Hawks can score 26 in the first half, off those type of plays, LeConner can too. So if you're looking at it like that from a LeConner point of view, you got to get a stop here.
Yeah, definitely. A matter of stopping the bleeding, as they would say, right? Like, you're it's on the line right now. You got to get a stop and try to just kind of gain some control of this game before it runs away from you. See, lining up. Look like refs trying to sort out where teams can line up.
We will be in the third quarter right now. For you guys who are wondering about the score bug, we are having some difficulty, so we are in the third quarter, second half, 12 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Dom doing a good job making sure we clarify, for any new viewers or anybody who might not be following along with it not being on the production graph. But, he's got it covered.
Thanks. Yeah, my guy got me covered here for giving me my roses too. But I also like to say earlier right now we also have LeConner kicking it deep. I'll get to my point here momentarily as Xerxes goes to the right side, going backfield a little bit.
Got some speed, but looks like
a big block by Tulalip, but that looked like it
and
was
he still makes the tackle though.
Coming back a little bit.
Might have been clipping. Looked like you got him on the side, possibly the back of the jersey. We'll see it in slow mo right here.
You can see here.
Oh yeah, definitely. He wasn't looking. That's when you got to leave him. There's 5 people around the ball. He's not getting away from that unless he makes a great move. But you got to leave that one alone because now they're gonna get backed up possibly 15 yards.
Yeah, not a good start for Tulalip after that penalty. Maybe showing. Just coming out of the half, getting back into it here, but the Hawks will start pretty far back. Looks like on their 15. After are we gonna say clipping? Is that what we're gonna go with?
Yeah, I believe it was clipping. I don't think you can. What do they call that? Roughing or maybe unnecessary roughness. Kind of what they would call blindside blocking. But I don't think you could do that. But it looked more like clipping, and so we get a fake draw. And a go ball there by Davis. Oh, the ref getting his steps in, trying to stay in front of him, but Davis runs right by him, taking the express lane to the end zone.
Davis bad-handed, no flags, touchdown. That will be a touchdown for Tulalip here on the replay. Just a wide open play here for Tulalip.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if JJ was trying to sell what looked like a QB draw. We get Davis right up the seams. And the ref, really putting the track shoes on there for a second, but, just couldn't keep up with Davis, meets him in the end zone.
I don't even think he had spikes on, to be honest with you. I'm looking at his shoes right here from the booth. You're a shoe guy. I don't see any cleats on there.
By Davis?
No, of the ref.
I mean, that'd be more impressive if that was the case.
Davis definitely has his cleats on.
Yeah, he spat it up. He's got the ankles wrapped.
Great play by JJ, getting it to Davis there, wide open here. Down not even the sideline, down the midline.
Yeah, down
Davis.
the seam. A nice little seam go ball, if you will, just down the middle. And then we see.
Looks like
Jaden Zacky's pulled down though, not able to get outside.
Jaden looked like he wanted to split the defenders there on the left side. Kind of stopped his step a little bit to try to do a little bit of a trickery, but was stopped there by LeConner.
Yeah,
third quarter.
Again, one play score, Dom. Like I said, offense just rolling, man, and really it just comes down to Heritage just being a lot more athletic. They're able to really score on the run at will and score on the pass at will. So LeConner not able to get in front of anything.
Yeah, very much. Tulalip's offense on the passing side of things looking great. I think they're actually 3 for 3 on their passes tonight, and those 3 for 3 are all touchdowns, or 2 of them are touchdowns. If I could be, or the 3 touchdowns.
I think all 3 of them
All
were,
3 of them
go balls, man.
are go balls. The offense is looking pretty great when you air it out.
Yeah, you can't, not too shabby. 3 for 3, 3 touchdowns, 100% completion percentage, 100% touchdown percentage.
It's usually the other way around with teams. They're like, oh, we're running it. Let's just keep running it. Run out the clock. But it looks like Tulalip's like, well, if we're having luck with the pass game, let's just keep doing it.
And they have to. In 8-man, you gotta find some fluidity in your offense. So it's a first game. So LeConner, if they're not able to stop anything, they might take some lickings, as they will say tonight, as Hawks just really trying to figure out their offense with a live defense in front of them. And then the other thing is that games can change easily. Just as much as there are broken plays for LeConner on defense, there could be broken plays for Heritage on defense. They got the athletes to do it. You've seen, number 9 for them, their running back. He's got some athleticism, so he can get in the end zone as well.
Yeah, very much so. LeConner could definitely get a couple scores here and get back in this game. With third quarter remaining, we're back on the score bug. Check it out. Third quarter there, 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining as LeConner will get a handoff. Looks to get about 5 yards, but like I said before, we're back and running here on the bottom of your screen, so appreciate the graphics there for our guys out here in Tulalip TV. Also, LeConner here looking to do great here on their second down.
Yeah, and they, a little bit of a wedge run there. They get 4 yards. Like I said, you play physical, it might wear that defense down a little bit. Who knows? They get in the end zone and establish some run on the offense for themselves. And so, yeah, they can still keep, scratching and clawing to try to bust this game open.
Looks like a new runner here for LeConner. Maxwell Page, who's a junior, gets the handoff there for LeConner. Trying to switch something up here. Those halftime speeches, how do you dial something like that up as a player? What do you do? Are you zoned in, or are you open to hearing things?
As a player or as a coach?
As a player.
It depends on what side of the game you're on. If you're losing, obviously, and coaches, trying to pitch you a prep talk for LeConner, it's tough, man, because, realistically, are you physically outmatched? No matter what coach says, personnel and what you're seeing on the field matters. If you're Heritage, man, obviously it's all positive. It's all good things. You're obviously reinforcing that things are running smooth. You might give a little constructive criticism, and so as a player, as long as the messaging is right, you'll hear it out, and all things will keep rolling.
Davis Batchan with another tackle for a loss there for him so far, having a great game on the edge there, just being able to outrun the line so far. I think the speed right now on this defensive line on the edge is really just giving LeConner a run for their money.
Yeah, I know, and I understand that maybe the thinking of a coach is that you got to mix it up and obviously getting out around the edge works sometimes. But honestly, I think the most successful thing for them as a turnover on downs, as they go to a kind of that dive play up the middle is, they kind of maybe got to stick to that. Really just try to wear the Hawks down and maybe get a busted play. Obviously, turnover on downs there, and Hawks get the ball back.
It'll be a turnover on downs. Davis Batchand on the tackle again, 2 in a row. Looks like he was blocked by 2 guys in between the play. You can almost see him just kind of dive in between 2 guys and just kind of hold on and just hope you get the guy at that point. Looks like Heritage now will be lining up at a familiar formation that we're...
Yep, that single back. They released 3 off the line.
Why
and
not
they've got the
pass it?
athletes. Oh, and that's their first incompletion there as it's overthrown to Jaden Zacchius.
Almost there on the play. Looks to be a couple, maybe a step and a half behind there. You can see JJ, lots of time here. Perfect.
Yeah, and, maybe he's used to Ziggy. Ziggy, who's, by far and wide the best athlete on the field. And so, he could throw that ball as far as he wants, and Ziggy possibly going to get to it. And you got a mix of receiver, different receiver look there. And maybe he doesn't have the same speed, so just a little overthrown.
And also the thing is, too, is Ziggy was here last year.
Yeah, so
Jaden
chemistry.
being new, getting that chemistry, first game of the season. Just trying to get it all figured out here. JJ looks to pitch it to Takala to the left side.
A hurdle. And he gets taken down there, caught from behind.
Will be 3rd down for Tulalip Heritage.
showing his hops there. You know, maybe a broken block.
Broken
know.
block there, yes, very much. Hawks here on third down. Hawks haven't faced this situation too much tonight on third down situations. LaConnor trying to get a turnover on downs here.
Yeah, and we'll see. You know, I think maybe they mix it up. It's third. Yeah, they probably catch him off guard. Might see a pass play there where they obviously you release him. Yep. Drop back.
Goes over.
It's an out route there, and he overthrows Jaden again.
Just a little high for him there. We'll see here on the replay. But you just got to keep your head high after something like that. You know, don't let it get to you. You know, you're up pretty here late in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, he wants his moment, right? You know, you see everybody shining, and a little bit of an overthrown ball again. But, you know, like you said, you know, just got to keep his head up. And all things rolling. It's 32-6, nothing to fret. You know, he'll probably get his play here soon. And we'll probably, I think we're going to see a run because LaConnor hasn't stopped the run. Obviously, you know, predictable to drop back, and so maybe they catch him off guard with a QB draw.
Get an easy first down here. Just think about it later.
I got to channel my inner Tony Romo right here.
Predicting the plays here in the booth.
I see maybe releasing the receivers and then the QB draw.
Looks to be a muff
roll
snap
out.
here. JJ does the little hop step. Spins. That's his guy.
Yep,
Gets the
dragging
first
defenders.
down and more.
Yeah.
Like a nice gather step by JJ here on the replay as he rolls out to the right. And you know, turns his play
Little
into
missed block
something.
there internally. Yeah, but yeah, he breaks off he able to avoid that first tackler and stumble and bumble.
That play, a lot of people like to, you know, base their players off a lot of, you know, plays they've seen before. I've seen that very exact spin move done by Lamar against the Bengals about 4 years ago. Not just because I'm a Ravens guy, but I think that play, that spin off the two defenders off to the right side, very cool left side.
A la Lamar Jackson-esque.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I see it. You know, he's got some moves.
JJ here hands it
draw
off. James
there.
Jones Jr. goes up the guts.
Stuffed up the middle. Yeah, so a nice, you know, hard-earned 3-4 yards and just kind of wearing on him. And I'd like to say that if that wasn't a fumble on the ground, I really feel like it was going to be a QB draw. He rolled out, you know, maybe that block's not missed or not a broken snap. It looked like it was going to be a draw.
Definitely looked like a designed QB run there for Tulalip, and they're trying to get their run game going as well as anybody, and getting your quarterback involved like that on the ground game.
Maybe we'll see an out route right here to the wide side. We see him bunched up over there.
Key player to watch here, number 53 on the top left of your screen. Looks to go to the motion.
Never mind. To the near side. Get a good block.
Goes to the
and
right side.
Hits a cut. Man, you got to love the way Ziggy runs. You know, not a lot of wasted movement. It's just, you know, he hits a seam running. He's a very, like, north and south runner, man. Runs hard and uses that athleticism to the best of his ability.
In the formation, it almost looked like he's going to go to the left side, then motions to the right. All of a sudden.
Sees one angle. He's got a fleet of blockers. You know, just really weaving through the blocks and just gets a touchdown fairly easy.
Big blocks there for Tulalip. That's a big key part of their game so far tonight. Hitting their key blocks on these plays is separating them and making them, the scoreboard shows it.
Yeah, and so, you know, they, again, just, you know, blowing it wide open, up 32 points on LaConnor here, you know, looking to get the 2-point conversion.
Big 2-point conversion here for Tulalip.
Yeah, and we'll see. You said they haven't converted? Or they got one?
I believe they did last. Yeah, their last one they did.
Okay.
So trying to get the package going here. James Jones makes it look easy.
One. Yep, easy one for him. He, you know, just a little pitch and catch to the ref. Here you go. I'll take my 2 points.
It's a new half. We're getting these 2-point conversions. Covers the ball.
Yep.
No problem.
Yep, running it. Cover the ball easy. Yeah, easy score, and they're up, you know. So all things rolling for Heritage. And we'll see if they, you know, sometimes they bust out that running clock.
Sometimes. And sometimes they like to, what's a stopping clock, you know, like we like to say. Here in the 1B, we got a lot of beautiful things going on, a lot of locations, like we say here in the Northwest 1B Football League. As you can see, where are these teams out? You know,
beautiful graphic.
A lot of people, hey, where is this team? So people go, oh, we got a far game. We're going to Nia Bay. Here's the graphics for the team in the division.
Man, they get better and better every year. So, yeah, we got our location of the schools. You know, like you said, you were asking where Nia Bay is, furthest northern point out there. And then, you know, obviously some other teams scattered nearby down the I-5 corridor, as we would say. And, you know, all things looking good for the 1B conference as Hawks get what would be their first win on the season.
So there may be some controversy in what you just said because they had I believe maybe a reschedule of a game because I believe they were supposed to play Crescent and the game didn't end up happening.
A little bit of banter, you know, good tackle there.
Yeah, but showing some intensity here for Tulalip.
Hey, hunt him down. He's called a gunner. He has good speed. Directly beelined it to the ball. Way to break down and make a tackle.
You know, you're showing the Connor. You know, you're not giving up in any poise, especially on the kickoff. You know, a lot of people like to kind of just do their thing on kickoff, and it's like, let's get on to the next play. They're showing intensity.
Yeah, and as you can see, James Jones Jr. getting pulled to the sideline. He might get a little, you know, hey. You know, the game's coming to a close. We don't need that.
We're up 34. Do we need to do that? The Connor here now.
So obviously, aside from, you know, the likes of a powerhouse Nia Bay team, I know you said LeConnor's more of a new team to see for you as commentarying. What are some other schools that, you know, to look out for in the 1B?
I think, like we've always said this before, you know, you got to think about Nia Bay being far out. You know, that's a hard game. If they're coming from far away. They're locked in. You know, Lummi also another great team that Tulalip will play. Quilcene also. This is a tough division, and you know, I may be kind of biased, like I say all the time, but the schedule you look at in the 1B in this standings. Okay, let me pull it here as we get to this. LeConnor just taken down by Jaden Zacchius there. There's a lot of good teams in this conference. You got Nia Bay, you got Lummi, Concrete, Darrington, Charles Wright, who is a 1A school, Crescent, Quilcene, and Muckleshoot. But I would say the top two biggest teams I would mark down on my schedule, Nia Bay and Lummi Nation for Tulalip.
Move your camera towards Diamante is off center.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you know, as you see Lummi with a dub in that win column, I believe some said that was the first win in 3 years for them.
That works, thank you.
So, you know, they might be turning the corner and, like you said, you know, a threat in the conference.
I think those games are just something you like to see in the conference, and I think all the teams so far are very good matchups.
I think we're going to see a face mask here.
You can yep.
Tackled up high, maybe got him.
That seemed to be like an easy call there for the refs.
Yep,
face mask and Davis Batchan. I believe that will be an automatic first for LeConnor.
Yeah. Yeah, so you said, it's an interesting, and then it's always, you know, those unofficial rivalry games, man. They're tricky. They're for whatever reason, even if it looks like, you know, our program might be tipping the scales on, you know, the opponent that is Lummi, they always make it interesting.
Yeah, definitely. If a team is really good and they have the roster and have the athletes and they have their grades up and the other team doesn't, it always seems to me like the game will play to that level of whoever's out there. And it's really cool to see. And also, it is also great to see LeConnor in this mix as well. I'm a big color key guy of teams and the colors that they wear. I like how LeConnor's blue. You have blue and red playing tonight. I like Crescent's blue and yellow. Quilcene's purplish. I'm that guy when they're playing on the field. I kind of like to see the clashes.
Yeah, and obviously it's, you know, kind of knowing the mascot. Maybe if there's some history behind the school as to why they have that the color scheme and their mascot chosen, if it's representative of the area. Obviously with the Hawks, it's that, you know, that black and red. You don't get to see a lot of like all black uniforms, and so I personally like our uniforms. You know, they stand out for me, that black and red.
I got to point out, too, like I was saying earlier in the broadcast, that Tulalip is wearing a uniform combo we've never seen before. I believe the pants are the same.
The jerseys.
Yeah, the jerseys, and then also the decal and the stripe and the number on the side.
Yeah, with the white accents. I don't think, obviously the white stripe is new, And then I don't know if the logo has changed.
Looks like an alternate or new logo.
Yeah, it seems like every year, the logo changes. Maybe production crew at some point will able to get us an image. But yeah, so yeah, it definitely looks like a new logo moving forward.
It will be a false start here. Tulalip getting pretty excited there on the play. You can
Maybe
see here.
Close up. Maybe we'll get a close up.
New edging on the numbers there. The shoulder pad of the Hawks logo.
Okay, so yeah, like more of a fanned out eagle or hawk. Sorry, fanned out hawk. They might get me for that one.
If you've ever seen that video, there is a guy who actually, I won't plug it, but he does history of the helmets. I think I'm going to dive into that sometime this week about all the uniforms that have been worn
that'd be
by
cool.
Tulalip.
Yeah.
Because just our cautious to say this because I know there's a lot of UW fans. I'll get to this here in a momentarily after Connor here on their handoff looks to have a motion. Fumbled snap here.
Live ball. And it might have went to Heritage. Oh, actually, yeah, lucky bounce there for LeConnor. They retain the possession.
Yeah, it looks like LeConnor will retain possession. I know there's a lot of UW fans out here.
Okay.
As the replay here, looks like you could see here the ball's rolling. Looks like he almost pushes it. Doesn't get the ball quite yet.
Bounces off a heel, and that fumble, it's odd shape. It gets to bouncing around.
But with the uniforms that I'm seeing so far, is Tulalip channeling some Oregon with a lot of new uniforms? I'm liking to see that. But UW also has a lot of
alternate uniforms.
Yeah.
I think obviously, without asking, obviously you guys, at some point you guys will have to with the sack there by Davis Bachan.
Coming off the edge, man, like we said earlier in the game, he's just doing a great job just getting that first step off the edge.
Yeah, whether he's the D end or corner with no receiver out on the near side, he's able to go back there unopposed. But what I was gonna say is obviously with the personnel that are on the staff for schooling, I'm gonna give a shout out to Lonnie. If there's one thing that he loves is new apparel, and so if he's got the ability to shop and maybe switch up the look. Man, he'll bring something new to the table. So maybe that's something that they worked out was a new logo and new uniform combo.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a sucker for the helmet stripe down the middle, man. I think they're doing a great job. New apparel, really cool thing going tonight.
You know which one that I think? I'm gonna channel my inner intellectual properties. So if anybody wants to steal this idea, just as we see the roster. If you want to steal this from me, just give me credit. Is I would like to see maybe a helmet where instead of the stripe, the Wolverines I think have the best college football helmet. Michigan is if maybe we had something where it was feathers. So to be culturally,
Did you
resemblant.
Did you have input of the logo last year with kind of the Washington? I don't want to say it live, but Commanders' old uniform or logo. When they had the feathers coming off the edge?
Did
you have a say in that?
I didn't have a say in that. No,
I liked that with how we had that framed. I'm just going to say, it was like the Redskins logo, and they had the feather coming off the circle edge.
On the helmet or the jersey?
Yeah.
No. I'm thinking more of in the front.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like the Michigan Wolverines, but instead it could be some feathers, kind of around the front. I think that I think I've seen it when teams try to kind of copy like a war bonnet look. But it would be cool just to kind of maybe have it, stripes, pretty status quo of a design.
It looks like this will be a false start or a neutral zone. It could be either or. I didn't really see who went first there.
Yeah, as we tap back into the game.
Yeah, as we tap back into the game. Hey, man, people like logos too. There's someone out there who's maybe liking this tangent. Looks like it will be on the offense there.
It's a false start. Yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, the uniform's looking good, though. Like you say, I do like the white accents.
So the logo that when I played, they had the logo that's on the shoulder, that was on the decal for our helmets at Tulalip.
Yeah.
That was a pretty timeless one. JJ here steps back, goes to the left side. Wide open, Jaden Zacchius.
So there's his moment right there.
In the moment between the field goals.
Yeah, so he catches one, able to celebrate. He got his go ball that he wanted, and it's a tug.
Great touchdown there. Jaden Zacchius there just wide open in here in the middle. What happened to the defense here? Just outran. Not a defender in sight. Probably 15 yards back. Jaden with a great catch.
I would like to think from what I've been seeing is, they haven't been able to stop the run. And when you're worried about the run, when guys get released off that tight bunch package on the line, you lose track of, guys on the edge, whether it be kind of what we'd call maybe a slot or a tight end. And so, you're trying to get downhill just to maybe try to run support. Next thing you know, guys running by and nobody's nearby and he's open. And so, obviously JJ, he didn't really sell too much of a draw, and then Jaden gets wide open.
Looks like they'll go for James Jones Jr. on the left side. It'll be a 2-point conversion. Converted here for Tulalip.
Rolling. And they tightened it up on that conversion. But yeah, so I was going to say right before that score, that original logo, it was awesome. Yeah, that first year I came in, how the Buckeyes have their Buckeye stickers.
Yeah.
A cool thing that, I tried to introduce, which, I hope they kind of maybe keep. Maybe they don't, or they do something different. But just to kind of give some incentive was they got those, the OG logo as reward stickers for big plays.
I didn't have many of those, but I did have some stickers
Oh, man.
on mine. People tried to this is a great question. If you with your stickers, you obviously can design it how you wanted it.
Yep.
Where do you put your stickers on your helmet?
Most players, just because, it's kind of like that. It's a bit of a swag, if you will, and also it's kind of like, it lets them know you're one of those guys. And so then you see players decorate in the front. Pretty soon you'd see like, whether it was a Ziggy or a Roger, they got 20, 30 stickers right there in front. And then, it looked awesome. I like the way it looked. Players liked it. They bought into it.
It was always cool at practice, huddling up together. It's like, all right, Dom, you got 4, or so-and-so got this many, or, And I kind of put them on the left side there for a little bit. I kind of lined them up perfectly. I'm a real, I liked it, the straight look.
Oh, the stripe?
Yeah.
Before the white stripe was introduced?
It was a really cool thing. I think to go through all the years of all the Heritage Hawks uniforms is pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good feature.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it on the next.
All right,
the next
I'll get
production.
to it. LaConnor here.
There's your project.
Or LaConnor's too. God, I got to get some history on both teams for the next one here.
Yeah, as we see LaConnor getting back out on offense. Trying to really, like I said, just keep this game alive. 50 seconds here in the third. They run a little bit of a toss. It might have been, timing was off, but it stopped early. So, really struggling to, keep the Hawks off them in the run game.
Yeah, 30 seconds here remaining in the third. Looks like LaConnor will try to. They'll probably get, unless they throw it and run out of bounds, one more play out of this quarter.
Hey, we see a wide out there. Maybe we see a rollout to left. Fake. Oh, broken.
Looks like a muffled
snap.
snap. It could be recovered by Tulalip.
Yeah, Heritage might have got it. Oh, squeezed. Like I said, that football, man, it's odd shape, man. It bounces. Sometimes you get the lucky bounce.
Peyton Hatch almost got to the ball there, just kind of shoved his way
Dove
in.
on it, yeah, but, wasn't able to get the lucky bounce.
We will be entering the fourth quarter, and that means both teams will switch sides on the field here tonight. Heritage 48, LaConnor 6 as we enter the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and all things rolling for Heritage. They're up big and fans loving it. Cheerleaders, obviously, having some fun. And we see some of the TMYFL program cheerleaders and players with their jerseys on out. So just a good night of football for Tulalip.
Yeah, being up, what is this, if I'm doing my math correctly, 42 points. And at this point, will the rolling clock start to commence? We will see here in the fourth quarter. I don't believe it happens because I believe there was a 40-point game here last year in the 1B, and I don't think the 1B heavy clocks or rolling clocks
I think we had a rolling clock one game, and so I was wondering if they'd cue it before the fourth quarter. Maybe it's, something that happens in the fourth, but yeah, up big, especially if they score again, it just, you don't want anybody to have a long drive home or to, prolong a tough game, I guess.
Yeah, it's Sunday tomorrow. People like their Sundays.
Hey. NFL football.
Here we go. LaConnor goes for a sweep-type play. Heritage getting there early. Peyton Hatch there.
On the jersey, able to get a tackle.
And you see that one right there. The ref didn't really blow that early at all.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of forward progress. Or he wasn't able to get away. He had him by the jersey. He didn't fully until about right here, and then he's, yeah, it's a tough one because, he has him backed up. Easy tackle, easy breakup.
The running back for LeConnor, that was Kaysen Williams, who was a freshman, getting some touches here in the fourth quarter for the LeConnor Braves.
Yeah, and maybe LeConnor heard me. We haven't seen much of number 9. Looked like that might have almost been backwards. I thought that weird angle for us up here in the booth.
We do not have number 7's information here in the booth tonight for LeConnor, but that looks to just be like a little bit of a botch play there as it hit the ground, and that will be, I think, normally the play would actually be stopped because of the incomplete pass, but I think we have begun
running clock.
The rolling clock.
Yeah, and that's tough. Cause
that RC, man.
Yeah.
Rolling clock.
And, it's like I said, it's kind of been that night for Heritage, and so, we thought it might be coming, and we'll see. Drop back. Oh.
JJ here rolls out to the left, airs it out.
Gets it on a rope to Takala.
Big touchdown for Takala. Black Tomahawk here, his first of the night. Great play by JJ. Just rolls out to the left side. Great blocking again for Tulalip to make it 54-6.
Yeah, good offensive package there. And like I said, the LeConnor Braves, I want to say it's because they can't stop the run. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because obviously the other side of that is if they're just not really understanding of, schemes and responsibilities. A lot of guys running free tonight. A lot of lack of coverage.
Yeah, very much so, especially on the air raid of ways here for Tulalip. Definitely, I've always kind of seen some pass heaviness for Tulalip's history in their programs, but to see it tonight.
Yeah, one of your fellow alum in Willie last year. Yeah, he loved to air it out, and then obviously you see with the athletes they have this year, new coaching staff, but still keeping that alive. They got the athletes and just really, really just keeping things rolling with some high completion percentage, and everybody getting a touchdown tonight.
Actually, Willie and we go pretty far back. There was this time when I was actually pretty young, and actually not that young. This is, high school times, but I was walking on, and, I was the new guy, and Willie was playing, but I got to play his position because he didn't get his grades up. So, hey, Willie, I know you're listening, bro. And I was pretty thankful for those couple games.
You got to play QB?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yep, so I got some time because of my guy, Willie. He may have been throwing me.
Was the drop back natural, or?
Wait.
Did you have your footwork down?
Oh, yeah, I had it down.
You can tell when somebody has
number 24 and hope you don't fumble it on the way there. That was my job.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. That's awesome.
That was a fun year. We had a lot of great names on that team. Willie being one of them. Yeah.
I gotta put this. I gotta clip this and put it on my IG story.
Dude, no, this is what it was. I was pretty thankful. Coach Bubba was like, well, we got to make grades, and that he told us that. Like, hey, if you guys want to play, you got to have your grades up. I was doing my homework, man.
This is good.
This is the only way I'm getting in.
Good.
Not pure athletic. Anyway,
as we go back to the program.
Xerxes here for the kickoff. Will we see a squib kick here tonight, or will we just boot it out to the 20-yard line?
It might. You got to get guys rolling, get some game reps in. So good kick here. I don't see a squib coming.
Yeah, I would. If I'm Tulalip here, boot it.
Yeah, you want your guys to get out there, get some live game reps. Go down and make a tackle. Make a play. Usually tell them. You might be your first game rep. First a few, go make a tackle.
LeConnor looks to get a big play there. Tulalip looking like, okay, that's a good hit, but let's get back on defense here.
Yep. So, yeah, and quick tackle there.
You can see here, number 4, Brent Bob gets a good truck there. Gets a couple extra yards. Happy after the play.
Yeah, Joshua Davis with a freshman tackle. Nice square up, stops the return early.
Yeah, that's something you got to stop the ball. Someone's got to be there first.
And maybe, like I said, will we see him on offense?
Exactly.
I hope they hear me in the booth. I'd like to see him play some QB.
He's listed as a QB here on our roster, and that's something you like to see. You like to see guys get in there and get some reps.
So
Like LaConner, I think, has some extra guys that we haven't seen out there
new
tonight.
backs. I don't see number 9. So maybe. Oh, actually no, he's in the backfield blocking.
I believe this
Oh,
runner
running hard.
kept his legs moving here. That will be the play he goes to.
Yeah, he gets up flexing.
He's going to be like, all right, around the fourth quarter, I got in. I'm going to go rewatch that play. Number 32 goes up the middle here. That will be Benny Allen, who is a freshman fullback and also plays nose guard for LaConner. That was a great, about
good, strong
9-yard
carry.
play.
Yeah, strong carry there by him. Looking to, put some more points up on the board. Salvage an offensive drive for LaConner.
LaConner has been shut out this second half, looking to get on the board
End
here.
around QB sweep.
JJ with a great fumble. The ball came out, but they was clearly out of bounds
QB
there.
on QB contact there.
You don't really see that much QBs out here making defensive plays, but here in the 1B, you got to be able to play multiple positions.
Boom.
Great tackle here. Just hits him right in the hip almost.
Yeah, nice. He gets low, uses his speed to get to the ball. Obviously not a guy with a lot of, physical prowess, but he'll definitely attack the ball.
Looks like J.J. Gray will be subbed out for Jaden Zackus comes in for the corner position.
Maybe coach didn't like his starting QB making a tackle there.
Yeah, we're up 50 here.
We don't want nothing crazy
decision.
Yeah.
Number 9 goes up with the ball.
Oh,
Yandel goes to the outside. The 20.
Ooh.
The 10.
Oh, and a stiff arm.
Looks to get a stiff arm. LaConner will not be shut out here in the second half. That will be number 9, Yandel Rosales Rojas.
Gets another touchdown
sophomore.
for LaConner. And a great move here, in and out. Gets guys moving. Cuts it back outside, and then we get missed tackle there. Last-ditch effort, and he's able to get into the end zone.
You could see Vernon was right there on the defensive side on the left of your screen, just had his hips shifted a little bit, and then just the angle, and then he was able to go past him there. But
he's in a rush. He was in a rush to get inside, not your job to fill the gap. You want to maintain outside leverage, and then, bites on a move, and the next thing you know, it's off to the races for Yandel Rosales Rojas.
Yandel's been in all game. I haven't seen some of our defensive secondary out there right now. They're getting their reps, and that's what this is for.
Oh, and a field goal here. I think it's awesome when you see a good field goal kicker in high school. Oh, fumble, though. It's on the ground.
The ball will be fumbled as the field goal is always a hard one. Looks like there'll be some
and then we get some banter.
Quick get-ups here. Referees, there is some chippiness in this game tonight.
Yeah, like I said, a little bit of pride on the line. 4 minutes left. I thought we were going to see a field goal. Obviously not able to execute the snap. It goes bouncing around, and then we, get some bodies flying trying to dive on the ball.
That's a hard one. Unless you really got your special teams dialed in, it's hard to block all those guys here. In that formation, it's kind of hard, and I never really saw the field goal just growing up watching this in Heritage Ball. But if you can manage it, I thought it was you would get 2 for.
Actually, yeah, that's what I was saying. I know I was asking earlier, but I believe so, and so yeah, it works in your favor. I think even last year we played Charles Wright, and I think they hit a field goal, which made it a game. It was a 1-score game. We barely skated by on that one, but yeah, because of the field goal, we were biting our nails at the end, hoping we pulled it out. It was a kind of a surprise game.
So Charles Wright, they're in the 1B, but they are a 1A school, right?
Yeah, they're I think maybe some kind of private school down there in the Tacoma area, and so in the years that I coached, we had to travel to play them, and then so it would be interesting. I want to see that schedule again, but seeing maybe if they come here this year, I'm not sure how that'll work.
I don't know if they come here this
year.
year.
Okay, so yeah, the conference standings, but
yeah,
it would be nice to see him because I believe the first year I saw him was the year before, so I wasn't coaching, and Heritage was up on him, not able to close out the game. They lose, so maybe a little bit of redemption. We have their number, and would be cool to kind of have them come here, and obviously if Heritage could maintain a good game.
The 1B standings right now, Nia Bay has 1 win, Lummi Nation has 1, Concrete and Darrington, Tulalip, Charles Wright, Crescent all have 0-0 records. Cosine is 0-1, Muckleshoot is 0-1, and that is as of probably yesterday.
That's interesting to see. And we have utility scam alert, what you need to know. So our payment methods have not changed. If you get anything from Tulalip Utilities and you're unsure, use the phone numbers up there, 360-716-4840 to verify payment. Just call if it looks questionable.
Yeah, and they're getting really creative nowadays. So, make sure to just always call someone, it's that hotline, or call someone and just, double check. Like, hey, Diamante, is this, what is this? Don't trust that. That's what I would go about.
Absolutely, man. If you're ever unsure, look up the official website, call them.
Looks like JJ
Hand
looks for
around
an easy
for Ziggy.
handoff. Ziggy goes to the right side.
Cutting it back. He's tackled.
The rolling clock is rolling.
Yeah.
1 minute and 19 seconds remaining. The RC is running here tonight here in Tulalip. On the replay here, you can see JJ just easy handoff. Ziggy goes up right-handed.
Yeah, gets, good blocking, pretty unopposed run around the edge, and, bust off a 20-yard run, look like.
Next play, we got one more graphic for you guys.
So, yeah, great job by Heritage, just, trying to finish the game strong. And we'll probably see a run here, 50 seconds. We might get 2 more plays.
Yeah, if we're lucky, we'll see that amount of plays here. Looks like a fumbled snap. JJ looks broken
little
play.
move,
Goes
and he
to
gets
left
around the edge.
side. Will they get him? Will they
Oh,
not?
Run
He
fast
goes
by
to the
2.
edge.
Oh, running strong. And gets tackled.
Huge play for JJ. There
Yeah.
for Tulalip.
Great run, clock running.
Here on the replay. Just
Oh.
cuts to the left.
Nice move there. Gets around the edge, and I almost thought the second defender had an angle, but he had no chance. And then you see JJ look like he was almost off to the races.
Number 40 there for Connor just didn't really make the right angle there. He was there, but JJ looked to go a little bit farther out.
We get an injury on the backside. Oh, a cramp.
Nothing you like
Hopefully,
to see there.
hopefully. When you see the legs up in there, stretch. That's usually. But we get a higher education open house Thursday, October 2nd. At the Building D1 on, I believe, the Boys and Girls Club campus. So get to know higher education. Come by the portable, for any membership that wants to pursue their higher education endeavors and possibly sign up for some schooling.
Hey, this is big. I was a higher education guy. Did
Toot
all
your horn,
that.
Dom. Toot your horn. Where'd you graduate
No,
from?
I'm not gonna do. I graduated from Wazoo. And,
Clap it up.
and
Clap it
UW.
up. Clap it up.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be there without the people at the higher education. And there's a lot of great people who helped me get my stuff in. But I can't say enough how much they help you. And if you could go utilize that resource, it could work wonders for you.
Definitely a great resource for our tribe. I'm so glad that they provide that. I'm in a program right now, and so yeah, for anybody who's not familiar with staff, go get to know them. Obviously, address was on the screen. Get that address on the Boys and Girls Club campus, Tulalip Boys and Girls Club campus in Building D1, and yeah, they'll help you navigate your next higher education opportunity.
So you made me plug mine, but what about your program?
I'm in the New Zealand education program right now. Brought to the membership with hopes of producing some teachers, some native educators in the teaching workforce, and so hopefully here in the next coming years, a group of us will finish and be able to teach from an indigenous lens. So it's an awesome program. I actually had class today, so I came from
Dang.
there.
When the game's over, we're going to come to you to sign off, and then we're going to leave them with some replays.
All right.
Perfect.
So
That's a pretty cool thing, man. That's awesome. No.
yeah, brought to you by Higher Ed.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the Higher
Yes.
Education Resource. So again, shout out to Higher Education.
Higher education, and also the Tulalip Heritage Hawks win 56, LeConnor 12, as we will call this game quits here in the beautiful 1B setting here with Diamante Diaz. What is your biggest takeaway before we sign off here tonight?
All things rolling for Hawks. A little bit of personnel change, but I still think that some of their main key players are returning this year, so I think it should be a big year for them. Obviously, 1B changing. So we looked at the standing. 1B put up 46 points. Nia Bay still the powerhouse. They scored 64 points, but Heritage win big tonight, and they look to clash with the Titans here, hopefully coming up this season, and we get some highlights to end the night.
We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hoi.
Hoi.